been a while.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. Not a whole lot of time, maybe like 3 weeks. I'm not sure.
Something like that.
Whose show is this? Is this my show? Where are we? Where are we?
Show.
This is our show. This
why
is like,
am I on the bottom?
Why are you on the bottom? Because you're always on the bottom.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
This is confusing. This is like being in Australia or something. Do the toilets flush the other way?
No.
Yes.
What a great way to start the show.
Where's the guy that never remembers my name?
Oh, he quit. He's a quitter.
Yeah,
he's not with us anymore.
Oh, so I don't need the name tag?
Nope. No.
We all remember you.
It might help him going forward when he watches the show.
Got my picture on it too, just in case. Yeah. So.
What's going on, everybody in the comments? I hope y'all having a wonderful day. Do us a favor real quick. If you can, hit that like button for us and then hit that share button. Help us break the algorithm. Speaking of algorithms, we can get into it later, but Zuckerberg said he's going to change the algorithm now when these kind of posts will actually do good. When we post this kind of stuff on Facebook now, it's supposed to be magically getting better because he wants to encourage political free speech. Ain't that something? I know somebody that had 308,000 followers on Facebook lost their account because they was talking about politics. Ain't that something? He's firing the fact checkers? What? Why would you do that? I thought they did such a good job of fact checking people and taking their accounts. Did I mention that they took their accounts? Did I mention that, Casey?
Triggered much?
Did I mention that they took people's accounts? Like my account? Just thought it was strange.
Well, what about it was strange though? They took your account. You got to respect their platforms, don't you? That they own the platform.
It's not that. That's fine. You're totally right? But here's the thing. He came out and made a speech today that he shared on Facebook and everywhere else that he had people being biased and that it wasn't his fault. No, it's not on him. The White House was pressuring him.
That's true. They
was pressuring him. But now that Trump's back in office, all of a sudden, we can be conservatives again. It don't make sense. So if that's the case, then give people back their accounts. I've been on this all day. I've been so mad about this all day. Been trying not to curse him out, man. He was messing with my walk today. I got up and prayed. I'm like, God, it's going to be a good day. Boom, go on social media, see what's going on, what's trending. Mark Zuckerberg is trending. Oh, let's see what he's talking about. Oh, he's about to champion freedom of speech. Listen to his post. Oh, my God. I almost had a heart attack when I was listening to it. Oh, man.
Yeah. So when it comes down to like this whole situation, like I was joking, but when it comes to asking him to restore the accounts, I guarantee you that's not even really.
A couple people got their accounts back from lawsuits.
A
couple people got their accounts back that were gone for years after a lawsuit.
Good.
So he's got them. So he can technically do it if he wants to.
We don't know that.
Well, we're going to start a movement. We're going to start a movement. I'm just going to keep on making reels every day about Mark Zuckerberg needs to restore every conservative account that he canceled because he didn't like the type of speech that they was giving. And we're going to put the pressure on him. See if he's really about that life,
Yeah, when it comes
I'd play the race card if I were you.
Exactly. Right? I'm going to do it. I was the first black conservative to really be popping on that wasn't like born in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that was really popping saying the things that I was saying. And you took my account because of it, because I was a poor black man in America. You took my account. I'm going to run that by him.
See, this is all you do is you solve it by going to another platform.
I'm on all the platforms.
Telling them to give me my account back and give me this back. I'll come back and bring users to your platform that is declining. Facebook is one of the platforms that's declining.
Yeah, you're right.
That's and so they have to do something.
That's why I told them there's going to be a mass exodus like there already has been. And I used that on purpose. Max exodus. You see what I did there? I put the pun. I even said it. I said pun intended.
X isn't doing great to help their situation right now either. Elon Musk is not helping the situation.
He took people's check marks. Boo-hoo.
No, it's everything else since then. Elon Musk has been going on a tirade, trolling people, and people are getting upset over it.
Because he's the Antichrist.
Sure.
Or he's got something to do with him, one or the other.
Yeah, it's when it comes down to it, like what Facebook's doing, we all know they're just trying to save their platform. That's all. And with saving their platform, They're just trying to bring in the revenue because right now X has the popularity and the momentum just to take everything from them.
Yeah.
And the kids that want to stay on Instagram, and that's fine. You can stay on Instagram, but you won't get this many people to convert back. I'm not going back to Facebook. I have a Facebook. I post on it once every 2 weeks now. That's about it.
I like Facebook personally. It's just because that's where I started at. It's like an emotional attachment, like to my YouTube channel. I could easily start right now is a perfect time to start a new YouTube channel and it'll boom, right? It'll grow. All these new accounts are blowing up on YouTube and their content ain't near as good as the quality of my content. But the reason they're blowing up is because YouTube's algorithm, if you are a new account, it'll blow it up real quick, throw you out there. It knows your following of what people are going to want to see from you. So it's easy to blow up. But because of my emotional attachment, you know, to this channel, I won't give it up. I'm like, I'm going to bring it back to life. It's the same thing with Facebook. I just have an emotional attachment. Just want to be, you know, be like I was, man, the good old days, you know?
Plus, you're really big with the grandmas.
With the what?
The grandmas.
The grandmas?
Yeah, that's who's on Facebook. Is the average age
right.
is
You know
actually
what?
higher
I'm
than
not-
the average age in Florida.
I'm not going to dispute that. I'm just going to say whatever. See, I would have a comment before for that, but now I'm not going to make the comment because you know why? Because I got a beautiful fiance who's about to be my wife here in like 2 days, 3 days.
What?
2 or 3 days.
What does that have to do with grandmas?
I was going to say something else that didn't have to do with grandmas, but I'm not going to say it.
The average Facebook user accesses the internet with a rotary phone.
That's a real statistic. I seen that on Google.
Yeah,
Snopes
I found
even
that.
fact checked
I found that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get a different platform.
Cash is playing canasta with my mom on Facebook.
Look at Russo. Look at Russo coming in with the facts, saving the platform. Their stock is at an all-time high with IG and Facebook. They're still the biggest by far. This is why it was a smart business decision by adding Dana White to the board.
It's because no one's really talking about the decline of Facebook. It's starting to happen because it was declining. Yeah, that's all right. You can keep staying on Facebook.
Facebook is the big dog of the social media, bro. Facebook Meta has literally dominated social media. Only thing you'll find a whole bunch of good stuff on X. True enough, like you can get a lot of good news, but that's where all the people that got banned for like racism, whether they were black supremacists or white supremacists, they all went to X. That's all that's in the feed now. You get black people hating white people and white people hating black people on X. That's what's over there. I got a small group of people that's just good on my page, but I've been seeing the post.
No, Facebook. So Russo stating the facts, stock is at an all-time high. Sure. What if we're going to use stock is what is value? What is the value of Nikola? Oh, wait, that was a company that was not established, didn't sell one product, and it was worth a shit ton of money because of hype. So trying to say a company is valuable because of stocks, that's no different than the meme stocks. That's no different than any of that stuff because it's all manipulated by the market and certain people.
But that's not
it doesn't mean that they're super valuable.
That's not a good comparison, bro. Because they
It's
didn't
a
sell
huge
one product.
comparison.
Guess what? Facebook sells a ton of product. You know how I know? Because a lot of people buy stuff off of.
Then why don't we
off
sell
of Facebook? There's a whole lot of advertisements. Facebook is they doing their thing. I wish Mark Zuckerberg would
never
stop.
really sold through Facebook.
No,
You
I
need
ain't talking
some
about
like
us. I'm talking about them.
crocheted truth will set you free stuff.
That's
would
what
sell
I'm
big.
thinking. Like
would sell
crocheted
big.
or stuff that Jill Biden will buy, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, for sure. I agree.
I think that will work. Yeah. Why is Russo in the comment? Because Russo's too good for us.
Russo
He
doesn't
had
like to
move
talk
on.
politics anymore unless I'm not here. Then he jumps
He's on Facebook too. I just noticed that. So.
Yes. Well, these now
you.
free. Welcome to my world. You
Thank
have King Facebook over here and King Instagram down here, and it's like whatever, guys. Like
You
do
only
your
like
thing.
X so much because you got some popularity over there. If you had as much popularity on X that you did on Facebook, you'd be saying the same thing, bro.
I constantly caught myself in Facebook jail. I don't have that
But
problem.
Zuckerberg's fixing it now, Casey. It's cool now. You could be a conservative again, bro.
Right. The FBI admitted that the Cybertruck bomber guy sent the email, so I trust the FBI now. It's smart. It's what you do.
We
we had our stream taken down yesterday for J6 on X, and now all of my comments are restricted on the other J6 stream. And
See?
I'm in some sort of funky X hex gulags.
I don't know what you guys
I can't
said.
like anything. I can't bookmark anything.
We didn't
I
say
don't have
anything
this
except the
problem.
truth. That's all. We just
I
said the
I think
truth.
we got mass reported, I think is what happened. I think that's what
Yes.
took down the first stream.
I think so. Because that was weird. All of a sudden, I'm just sitting here and I'm like, what happened to the stream? Like, what happened? And that's when I sent you a text. I'm like, did something happen? Because
We lost
I
like
don't see it.
1,500 people or something. It was crazy.
yeah, it was nuts. Why? Oh,
Southern
okay, there we
Grammy's
go.
got a crochet shop on Facebook. I'm sorry. I was making fun of Russo. You just got caught in the crossfire there. That was
That's
unintentional.
Yo.
Watching to support. I'm on a treadmill. Well, we appreciate your support, Russo. If
On
you
a
will please go to
treadmill.
awakenotwokestore.com and buy some merch while you were there. Also, go sign up at freedomboxinfo.com. Freedomboxinfo.com, right?
Yeah, freedomboxinfo.com. But you know what? That's funny that Russo's on a treadmill running away from his responsibility to truth set you free,
Facts.
but not going anywhere. Running away from it, but not going anywhere. Still in the comments.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, still
Horrible.
there. That's all right.
I don't like
We,
it when
well,
mommy
all
and
we
daddy
need is a
fight.
vaccine mandate to come out, and then Russo will finally get back in front of a camera. So once that happens, then he'll come back. The other topics we have to talk about, we'll talk a little bit about the Cybertruck stuff. The New Orleans terrorist. The part that I want to call out with that is just a couple little things that people seem to forget or not even know what is being talked about. I want to talk about Trump's press conference today. What did you guys think of Trump's press conference today?
I mean, I only seen a little bit, and then hearing what you said about him saying he wants to make Canada and Mexico and Greenland a part of America, I say, hey, let's run that. Let's run it that way. You know, I could go to Canada because I got a felony right now. I can't go to Canada, and I always want to go see a moose. So, you know,
You want to go see a moose, and that's why you want to go to Canada?
that's the only reason why. Literally, I just want to see
Come
a
to
real
Utah,
live
go to
moose.
Colorado. There's
No, I want to see a
millions
Canadian
of
moose,
in
but
the
not an
United
American
States.
moose. They're fat and lazy. I want to see a real live Canadian moose.
Did you call Americans fat and lazy? Because
I
a lot
said,
of people
no,
were getting
see,
offended when
that
Elon
is-
Musk said that.
That is horrible. You said it. I said that about Americans. I said that about American moose. Meese? Is that how you say? Is it like with geese?
Mises? Are you saying
Mises.
Mises?
I said
I'm
that
kidding.
about American Mises.
The caucus. I think when they're in a group,
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
Ludwig von Mises. I think that's the plural.
Oh, geez. It's moose, guys.
No,
But
it's not.
yeah,
It's Mies.
sure. But there are plenty of them in the United States. There's also plenty in Canada too. But you
So
can
we
see
have
here.
we have Canadian moose. We have Canadian meese in America.
It's called a moose.
We don't
And
have
yes,
those in America.
They
we do
go
not have a
back and forth
Canadian-
across the border.
Okay, so where are they from?
They live
They're from
naturally in
Canada.
our land.
No.
In our land, in the Rocky Mountains. Yes.
That's a dang lie, bruh. That is a dang lie. The Canadian meese are from Canada, bro. They're not from America. I want to see a Canadian one.
There. See, thank you, David. Hopefully, you'll be a fellow countryman here soon.
That'd be dope.
David. So it'll be
We
way
could get
cool.
him and we could get Eric because Eric's also in Canada. So Eric would be,
Yeah.
you know, American, which he already kind of is if you think about it. He's super
The moose
patriotic.
are loose.
Look at people are trying. They're putting moose stuff in the comments. We know
Cash.
it's
If we're
moose.
gonna, if we want to start a 50th show, we should do the guy from northern Indiana and the guy from the south side of Chicago discuss nature because
That'd be
I think I
funny.
know less than you.
That'd be no. I knew it was moose. I like to be funny. Like I was just wondering this too. Like how come when you got like a whole bunch of mouse, how come we don't say mouses? How come we say mice? But We don't do the same thing for moose, but we do it for a goose. And goose and
it's
moose
the
kind of
metric
sound the
scale.
We
same.
say goose.
Metric scale.
No, we say geese.
Oh, we say geese. That's right, geese.
See, look, you don't know American language right there, buddy. Tell you
No,
what.
you don't want to look at me for English. No,
But you see what I'm saying? Moose and goose, it rhymes. So why is it not geese and meese?
And whatever happened to the flock of seagulls? Are they still around?
No. What do you call a seagull that flies over the bay?
I don't know what.
A bagel.
A bagel. Oh, Jesus.
Dad jokes.
Yeah, about that. Let's move on.
All right.
So let's go ahead and talk. Let's talk about a couple of the New Year's Eve kind of stuff that happened. One of the things that I wanted to talk about a little bit is the New Orleans terrorist that I won't say his name anymore because it definitely seems like he did it for fame and have his name associated with something. But it seems weird that story gets zero attention anymore when that was the whole story from New Year's Eve. No one talked about the Cybertruck. Everybody today is talking about the Cybertruck. And so it's weird that the media is just playing into this perfectly and everybody's still doing the same, following it. When it comes to the New Orleans one, the part that is not getting enough attention is that guy set up a bunch of IEDs and coolers and left them around New Orleans. Why is that not a topic anymore? And why don't we know what happened, like how he built them or any of the details? Not to mention, they let a reporter in before they confiscated all the evidence in the house. They let a reporter walk straight through the house. Did you guys see that video on X?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, it's from New York Post.
Are you saying that you think that this was a product placement by Elon Musk?
No, it's
Hey, that's a good theory right there. To show the durability of the Cybertruck.
Well, we'll get to the Cybertruck one in just a minute because this is New Orleans. This is not the Cybertruck. But this reporter from New York Post was able to walk into the house, look at the door, everything was kicked in, and there is supposedly proper documentation from the raid on the counter. There's people that are saying there are concerns with that documentation, saying it's not sufficient. And then after this video was recorded later this night, someone went back to the house, locked it up, and then put up all of the tape so no one can come near the house. And then they confiscated the evidence. They admitted that is their whole process for this one. Does that sound weird to you guys? I have never had this happen. That you have a news reporter having a free walkthrough of the house of the suspect before they lock it down and confiscate all evidence.
That is strange.
So here's this lady.
Home. You can see that it's been clearly destroyed, the door at least, from the FBI raid yesterday. But if we walk through the home, we see some signs of what he was up to. He had this work area here, lots of different chemicals splayed around, and different electronics. This is, again, a work setup. Left receipts, just very unkempt in here. If we go over here, actually,
Didn't realize I'm playing this one with the captions,
the
but
Department of Justice documents here, the search warrant, and the property that they recorded here, which seems to be a lot of chemicals. Again, just left in disarray. There's a bedroom back here, and what appears to be his collection of religious materials, his Qurans, an open Quran with a passage there.
and this passage that is in this open Quran, someone broke it down because it's definitely in a language I can't read, but they say it's about martyrdom. And so as soon as I found out this, that's where I stopped using this guy's name because he wanted to be a martyr. And this entire thing is just odd. And Cash, I don't know if you know anything about this, but I read another post that someone's like, No, you don't leave a Quran just open
No,
out like that.
you do not.
And
That's not. Let me tell you, bro. That's staged. That is staged. Straight up. From me just seeing that part right there, I would say that stage. I don't know if everything is, but that for sure would be staged. You don't just leave the Quran sitting open. That's you literally close. It's closed. It stays closed because before you open it, you got to say Bismillah.
yeah, it's just weird.
As well as even the Bible here, but mostly books on Islam and his prayer rug just to the left of me here. And if we go back, there's another bedroom here. You can see he left all these belongings, contact lenses, personal belongings, bathroom. This seems to be some sort of workspace again with other chemicals here. The light's still on.
I wouldn't say the zero chemicals, whatever someone put up there. There's a bottle of liquid right here that looks like it's used for something. Who knows?
Some kind of station set up here. We're not really sure what that was for. In what we can assume was also a bedroom. You can see clothes left here, and just a sign that someone was here up until those last few moments when neighbors said he left just before the New Year's holiday, saying he was done with his lease. It was up and he was on his way to New Orleans where he would live there. Didn't take any furniture because he said his new home would be furnished. That's all we know so far.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. And when she came in there before everybody else.
Well, no, the FBI raided, and that's the documents that were on the counter. But as you can see, a whole bunch of
documents.
They left a whole bunch of things, like
that's
a lot of evidence. They also came back later and addressed when people on X and the internet were losing their minds about this reporter of how in the hell was she just allowed to walk in there with all of this stuff? We have never seen this done before. Like, what in the world is this?
Bro, they grabbed fake toy cap guns and stuff for the people of January 6th. Like, every little thing they could find, they literally took.
I want to say it was Jeremy, the quartering. Shout out to Jeremy. He commented on one of the posts from like Mario or Cliff Rugg or whatever that was sharing this. And he's like, they took a Lego set of a Capitol from a J6er.
Yeah, my man Robert Morris. Lego Man. That's what his nickname is, Lego Man. You think
they're going to leave anything else? Like, what the freak?
That's crazy.
And then after this happened and the everybody getting up in arms on the internet, the FBI finally came out and said, no, we're going back. We're going to be locking it down and then confiscating evidence. Why was she allowed in there if you haven't confiscated the evidence?
Well, they're only confiscating evidence now because people said, why didn't they confiscate the evidence?
Well, yeah, it's the FBI and the government. They're freaking trash.
That's crazy, man.
Let's address a couple of these real quick. Jill, New Orleans terrorist. This guy had a home in Houston area. That's where this was. He rented an Airbnb in New Orleans the night before New Year's night. So that's where he was living short term, is in that Airbnb.
So did he pop himself?
The terrorist? No, yeah. He ended up dying because of he got in a
gunfight, right?
Gunfight with the officers. Yeah. So as soon as he wrecked the truck, the officers were right there. They were right behind him. And they walk up to the truck and then open the door, and then gunfire between the both of them. The cops and the guy in the truck. So that's how he died. In my opinion, he wanted to die one way or another. Because he had IEDs in the truck and he had IEDs in the cooler. And
I'm just gonna start. I'm dubbing his name Lil Bin Laden. That's what I'm calling him. Lil Bin Laden from now on. It's Lil Bin Laden.
Sure. Got it. Didn't Airbnb go on fire? Yeah. New Year's Day, the Airbnb caught on fire magically after he's already dead and no longer on this planet. The Airbnb caught on fire. Which, by the way, the Airbnb also didn't have a certificate of occupancy. It had an open permit for remodeling that was done on it. Either the person that owned the house put it on Airbnb before it actually had a certificate of occupancy, or he was just lying and trying to get people in there. I don't know what he was doing, but
So
there's
did he
an
have
open
children
on the house.
or a wife? Anything? Wives? He's Muslim, so he have a couple.
I don't think he had anything.
No, nothing. Nobody knows him, talks to him, nothing. No friends came out and said, "Oh, he was disturbed." Nothing.
I don't know of anything that came out like that. I do know that the videos came out that he actually had Meta glasses on. So all of you Meta fans. And he was seen walking around town with Meta glasses on
Were
New
they
Year's Eve.
crocheted?
No, but they definitely looked old. But yeah, he was seen going around the town. I don't know of any family or anything like that.
That's weird,
Wasn't
bro.
he married twice? That could be. I don't know of anything like that with him.
Might be thinking of me.
Yeah, we're talking about free. So, and multiple people keep bringing up Fort Bragg. Yes, he did go through Fort Bragg, but so does everybody. Like, that's a huge military base. If you're in the military and you have any sort of success, which both of these individuals that did things that day, both were pretty well decorated and respected as a military person. So, going through Fort Bragg is not a whole lot of a thing anymore to me.
Dang, that's crazy.
But
how was he military? That's nuts.
Both of them were military and very well decorated in the military.
It's like that's wild. That is
Well,
wild.
The thing that's interesting is the FBI seems to be doubling down on this whole idea of PTSD with the Cybertruck guy, saying that was a lot of it. They came out today. We'll just switch to the Cybertruck one real quick. They came out today and said that he checked himself in for mental health reasons multiple times since August. I want to say it was like 4 times since August. And that's a sign of a major mental health issue. If you're going in at least every month, August to December, that's 5 months. You go in 4 times, quite a bit. There's something wrong. And shame on our whole system for not detecting it. If it was something like that, we should have been able to catch it. Should have.
I don't know.
Well, that's another good one for anti-war folks like me. Less people we would train to do things that may or may not be in our best interests.
Well, let's be honest. Like, we are using the military in not a very good way when we're talking about the United States military. And so people like my great-grandfather and others that joined the military, they had pride because they fought for the country and they fought in big things to defend our country. Our government now is inserting us and them into danger for the smallest things. So do they have that pride anymore, or do they just feel like they're just a body?
And they're going into nations where they're like, yo, what are we even doing here?
Why are we
told
here?
to do these things that,
Right.
these people ain't got nothing to do with us.
They're underpaid. They're exposing them to, chemicals and tire fires, and, they're doing dangerous, like, hazardous materials cleanup. I mean, like, it's a crap job.
No, it is. It's horrible. And I've said this numerous times. I know Cash has heard it. Free, I don't know if you've heard it. I've always said my whole life, especially when I talked to my grandpa when I was 18 and I was talking about joining the military. And my grandpa's like, I wouldn't do it because my grandpa did it, but then got out because of medical reasons. But I was always talking about that I will fight for my country, but I'm not going to fight my government's wars. Like, these guys are doing things for the wrong reason, but I will fight for my country. And
you don't want to fight for the minerals of another country?
No.
Me neither.
Nope. It's not worth it. And that's the thing. That's what our country is established. That's what our government has put together and done. And it's disgusting. But as Russo said here, because I agree. But the thing is everybody's hit or miss on if the FBI says something, do we trust it or do we not? Because the FBI said, oh, That letter's real. That went to Sam Shoemate and Sean Ryan. That letter's real per the FBI. I don't trust the FBI. Did he check himself in 4 times? I don't know. I don't believe it. But if he did, our system should have caught it. 4 times out of 5 months, we should have been able to say there is a mental health concern.
I trust the FBI less than I trust Zuckerberg. Just
facts.
Throwing that out there.
Facts. So yeah, when it comes down to these 2 situations, it's disturbing, gross, and I feel very bad that these 2 people felt that this was their option and tried. And one of them, because it is speculative that the Cybertruck guy intentionally made a weak bomb to not try to cause harm, but to cause visibility. Okay, because he was a Green Beret. He should have been able to put together.
Yeah.
He should have been able to wipe out that hotel if he wanted to, but he didn't. Like, that thing was half-assed and garbage. Like, I wouldn't expect it a whole lot.
I think he did that on purpose, though. Like you just said,
Yep.
He didn't want to hurt nobody. I think he wanted to just send a message.
Wasn't there reports to the opposite of that there were extremely hard to get materials in there and it was sophisticated? Like, I thought the original reports were that.
Originally, they were saying it was wired like an expert, like it was for detonation and stuff like that. Those were like the first words that they came out and were saying, the LA. And when I say they, it's Las Vegas Metro PD. I'll be there in a few weeks. I'll see you soon. But I don't trust a lot of what they were saying. As soon as they said that they believe that letter that Sam Shoemate and Sean Ryan got was sent by him, they lost all credibility to me. I thought they were doing a decent job, but it went south, and they're trying to take the easy route of blaming PTSD so they can say our military is dangerous. They don't need access to guns and any of these things. We need to take them away. And it's just evil. Trying to feed the narrative.
I was about to say, I don't trust none of what they had to say at all. Like, I honestly, I just don't, because of that. Like, they literally aligned themselves. We seen through 2020 all the way into now, they've aligned themselves, which they're supposed to be about justice, but they've aligned themselves with a political affiliation, a political party with a political agenda, and it's not to help nobody. I mean, these are the same people that put Catholics on a watch list because they were Catholic. Like, I see what time y'all on. I don't trust anything they got going on, bro.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they behind some of it, to be real.
Well, I just found it. The initial report said that, and from NBC, that the bomber used a very rare explosive compound in 2 of the improvised devices that had never been used before in an attack in the US or Europe, and that they had remote detonators as well. And so that completely flipped.
Yeah, remote detonators, but he acted alone.
So yeah, something's not adding up here, bro. I think maybe they dudded out. Maybe it was supposed to go boom, boom, you know what I'm saying? And it just dudded out. Maybe it was supposed to cause some harm. Because if they saying it was a sophisticated device and stuff that they never seen before used, and this dude's Green Beret and all, I don't know. Something's not adding up to me. I think they've maybe messed up, and now they're trying to cover it.
I bet you they have some sort of jamming technology in that area too, because you have to think that any place that's prepared for any sort of terrorism countermeasures, that would be something that they would have quick access to as some sort of jammer.
Yes. Yeah. The part that I'm pulling it up right now to show you guys. So, Cash, so I can at least address what you're saying it was sophisticated and it just it malfunctioned properly.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that from what he just said. He just said that they use sophisticated.
No, this is all he did. There was some stuff inside the cab, but not much. Threw a bunch of canisters of gasoline and flammable liquid, some mortars and fireworks in the bed of the truck, and then ignited it.
Right. So then again, why lie?
it's the media, dude. Like,
But
the
you said
media-
the FBI said that, right? Free?
Oh, I was talking about New Orleans. That was NBC.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm talking about the Vegas one, which they said that he wired it up. Initial reports very early on, they were saying it was wired up in a very sophisticated way. And I'm like, okay, then the entire thing would have went boom. This is not wired up very sophisticated. When you look at this picture, it's got gas cans, fireworks, and other cans of flammable fluid in the back. Like, that's not sophisticated.
I don't know.
One thing I wanted to show you guys and get your guys' 2 cents on. Let me go back to this video. This one. No, not that one. Where is it? Yeah, is it this one?
I mean, even so, too, like, hearing all of this, right? The investigation that they got into it, the chick being able to go inside of the crib with, you know, after the FBI left stuff behind, but they got to go back and check it out. I mean, I just don't think if they didn't have nothing to do with it, right? Then they just not taking it serious because it was 2 separate events and not, you know what I'm saying? That could be that too. So I don't know. It's just very confusing. Either way, the FBI is failing.
Big time. And a lot of people are up in arms over this, saying like they trust, like, not that they trust, but oh, well, the FBI said that the email's real. So see, everybody's a lot. All of these people that went against it are liars, or you owe them apology. Why do we pick and choose what we believe from the FBI? Like, I don't trust anything from the FBI. Nothing. It's awful. And the DNA did not match as a child. Here's another thing for you, Russo. The military has the DNA of anybody that enters the military. Why didn't you just compare it to that to make sure that it's the same person? No, they didn't do it. They tried to compare it to the child, his supposed child, and now created a very unfortunate situation for his child's mother that may be questioning things or got called out for cheating on him.
No, he ain't. They didn't do that. I don't blame them for that. Nope, I blame
saying
her.
His child is not have the same DNA as him.
Guess what? That's on the mama. That ain't got nothing to do with the FBI. They're trying to verify you lied and said this is baby. Now it then came out that it's not his baby.
Military and identify that person.
No, I'm glad they did it that way. That way she gets outed as a messy female for doing something like that. That's fact.
No, I don't care about that. That's part of just what happens when you do that. But they had access to the DNA in their infrastructure, their system. The government does. Why didn't they compare it to that to say for sure it is Matt Livelsberger? Why didn't they do that?
Who did they get to do it? Maury Povich? This is not your son.
I don't know exactly what they did, who did it, but they came out and it's not his son. Like, his son does not have the same DNA as what was in that Cybertruck. It's all weird. The other thing is, and this is something I also want to show, but I'm going to show you guys real quick. This is why I don't believe the narrative here. There is a person in this video. They call him Tim Kelly. I got corrected on the live stream I did about this, but his name's Tim Kennedy from the UFC, which I love Tim Kennedy. If any of you know UFC and have followed, Tim Kennedy is amazing. Tim Kennedy was on this TV show thing with History Channel and Inside Edition with Michael Livelsberger, Matt Livelsberger, excuse me. And so this is what Tim Kennedy says about him.
It's a reality show that pits teams of elite soldiers from around the world against each other.
Matt and Tim from the U.S. Army Special Forces, better known as the Green Berets.
Matthew Livelsberger and his partner Tim Kelly, both Green Berets, appeared on the Ultimate Soldier Challenge 12 years ago on the History Channel. They not only won, it wasn't even close.
You know, for television, they always try to make it a little bit more competitive, but we swept the whole entire show.
When he appeared on the show, Livelsberger used a shortened version of his name, Matt Berg. So it took Tim Kelly a while to put 2 and 2 together.
And then I saw a Matt Berg with a older photo of him, and I was like, oh no, dude, I know that guy. And then it just like tore my heart out because he was a really great Green Beret.
And what was he like?
He was charming. He was talented. He was personable. He was kind. He was all the things that you would expect from a Green Beret.
At one point during the show, Livelsberger lost his cool in the 90-plus degree heat.
I'm about to throw up, man. I got heat exhaustion, man. I need to take this off right now.
Tim Kelly says he hadn't heard from Livelsberger for a few years.
It just categorically does not make sense. From everything that I have heard, he was universally valued by his team, by his peers. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense, and it is just horrifically heartbreaking.
Dang.
So that's where it doesn't make any sense. Like
I don't know, bro. I mean, look at what's his name? Is it Charles Manson?
Yeah. What are you getting to?
They said that he was charming and he was charismatic and he was personable and all of those things, and he was capable of some crazy stuff. So,
sure. The part that I say doesn't make sense is he's a great Green Beret, very intelligent, knows a lot of these things. He wouldn't put together a shit bomb like that if he wanted to do it, unless it was to bring attention to things. But if you look at the two manifestos, you have two. You have one released by the Las Vegas Metro PD, which happens to be super weirdly worded and looks like it was typed up with AI. And the next one that Sean Ryan and Sam Shoemate went over, that doesn't match the style, the verbiage, and the wording is different. It's all weird.
Ronnie got a good point down there too, which is also kind of it's weird to be a coincidence. The first and second perpetrators on Trump also had videos, like famous stuff.
Well, let me see if
that is pretty strange, bro. I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. I just know that I'm glad nobody got hurt in that incident, and it's really sad that people did get hurt with the other dude. And I don't even understand how the other dude would do that. Looking at him, like watching his videos, he didn't seem like that kind of person.
No. Let's do one more thing here and then we'll move on. But the Cybertruck. So this is one of the things that I wanted to point out. Why? Because they say he was dead before detonation. He was dead before detonation. What does this look like right here? Let me click on the screen. Right here. What does this look like? A human body, right? Steering wheel, steering column, dashboard. This looks like a body. Would you guys agree?
No.
You don't think that looks like a body?
No.
Okay.
Looks like a lava lamp.
I'm pointing not at the lava, at the darker spots right here.
It's the guy from X-Men.
So the point that I'm making, look at this. Look at right here how the size of this changes. Tell me if you think that is someone turning their head.
Yes. Yes.
That is someone moving their head before that explodes.
Yeah, turning
he was
his
not
head to
dead.
the left. Well,
somebody detonated that with him inside the car.
If he shot himself in the head with a Desert Eagle too, he's not going to have much of a head left either.
Nothing. You will not have a head on your body if you shot yourself with that gun. The biggest handgun that is produced right now, mass produced.
And that it doesn't fall straight down between your legs either.
Nope. And the other thing is it exited on the left side here, which would be against the driver's side window. He did this and it exited. I'm trying to do this properly so it looks right on the camera. It exited the left side, which means there would be splatter on the driver's side window. If he did it inside the Cybertruck. None of this math is mathing at all.
So why would they lie?
It's the government. Why do we trust?
I know, but like, what would I get that? But what I'm saying, why make up this story about any of that? Like, why? Because he's dead, regardless. Why lie about how he died?
I think a little bit of it comes back to what Russo put earlier as a possibility. Fort Bragg, I'm trying to find a comment. I'll just say it. Fort Bragg is considered in a lot of conspiracy worlds that it's probably the training camp from MK Ultra.
Oh yeah.
And both of these people were there. We know Ryan Ruth. Why do we know that name? Who is Ryan Ruth?
Babe Ruth's nephew.
No, the attempted assassin of Donald Trump when he was on the golf course in Mar-a-Lago. Ryan Ruth, when he tried to shoot Donald Trump. And he served and was at Fort Bragg over 140 times. And he was mentally all messed up. The other thing is, Whitney Cummings called it out on New Year's Day. Why was there no silverware in Ryan Ruth's house? Not one piece of silverware in his house.
Yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie. You're giving me chills. Make me want to do an America's Conspiracy Compass, bro. Straight up.
This thing has been driving me nuts because it's lie after lie after lie after lie. Now, I did go hard on Sam Shumate and Sean Ryan because I thought they were doing it for clout. I will retract that. I don't believe they're doing it for clout. I think they got the email and they ran with it. Unfortunately, there could have been more vetting, but that's where I stand with it. I will not go any farther. But yeah,
does the Cybertruck have driver assisted suicide?
Ashley St. Clair was like, yes, thankfully my Cybertruck didn't get that update to where it takes your life before you're pulling up to the Trump Tower.
That's crazy, bro. And you know, hey, bro, what does that say about these dudes then? What if, like you just said, the whole MK Ultra thing, and that means that they are victims in this whole thing too?
Yes. Agreed.
So then, if it's the MK Ultra thing, then that means that the military is basically bad.
Yes. All of the leaders of the military, I shouldn't say all of the leaders. Let me back this up. Leaders that oversees the lower rank of the military, go and look it up. A lot of them transgender experience. They support LGBT. They support all of this stuff. You get into the super high ranks, you don't have as much of that, but you have a lot of it. And it's bad. I hope it changes. I hope people drive change. And that's where a little bit of, I love what General Flynn is doing. Sam Shumate's a very good friend of General Flynn. Sean Ryan has a lot of experience and is military intelligence. I want all of this to not be that we're blaming military, but we need to really start addressing these situations. Matt Tardio is one that's friends with all of them, and he's a former Green Beret, I believe. And I've been following his stuff, and he's amazing, breaking it all down. And he's like, this email is not faked from who released it. It's fake on who sent it. And I'm not blaming anybody else for anything other than whoever produced this letter to cause any other problems or confusion. And I agree with that. And that's kind of where I am at. When it comes down to this thing, if we can expose the actual truth, we're going to get to the bottom of a lot of these things. I don't want to see any more military taking their own lives. I don't.
Facts.
This whole thing's crazy.
It's bad. It's really bad. But yeah, we already spent a whole lot on this one. I wasn't expecting to go through a lot of this stuff, but it gets interesting. And Russo, here's where I will address this one statement, and you should already know this. It's the 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 that doesn't line with him. That is an insight that email is not real. You can look up what vehicles he had and what vehicles his parents had, which I did on that live stream. It didn't align with him. He didn't have a 2006 black Ford Mustang like he said in that email. And then there's a whole crap ton of what Matt Tardio talked about from a military perspective, that he didn't have the clearance to talk about any drones and experience to talk about the drones and what he talked about. He didn't have that work. He's a rookie when it came to drones and military experience. He was certified, but he was a rookie in it. He didn't have all of the detail. So there was a lot of questions on the validity of that with people with people that actually knew and dissected that email. It was fake.
And Russo made a point too, though. So you don't think the government can wipe that?
Wipe what?
Anything. The fact that he had a Ford, a Mustang.
Yes, they say he's a big.
Facts.
They said he was a big Trump supporter, and he they're shocked that he would have done this. His uncle came out and said all of that. That came out on January 3rd or 4th. So that's what's weird is this whole thing. But there are cars like he never had a 2006. We pulled up his entire history.
Maybe it wasn't in his name.
Who would it be in? His first vehicle, his parents, right?
Not necessarily.
Would you say that?
I mean, it could be.
Okay.
My first
Let me go
vehicle, I
and pull
put
that up.
in a female's name.
Your very first vehicle at 16?
Well, no, I wasn't 16, but yeah.
But your very first vehicle would most likely be in your parents' name, right? Because that's where the problem comes in, is when we start looking at this stuff. I'm going to go pull it up and I'll show you the. Actually, I have it in my note. No, I don't know if I have those notes still saved. I won't go look for them. I'm seeing if I can quickly find and show you all of the vehicles that were registered in his name. I pulled it up on the live stream a couple days ago when I did all of this early on. But yeah, there was no 2006 black Ford Mustang V6. None. And saying it would be erased, it's possible. I don't have anything to say to do that, but you really think that they would have been smart enough to do that? I don't think so.
Who, the government? They've been smart enough to do a whole lot.
I'm not saying that that email came from government. I don't know where that email came from. So that means whoever produced that email had to know to go and wipe that out in the records and had the ability.
Yeah. So the thing is, what if everything in that email is true? And that's why they would do that, to make it look false. You see what I'm saying? What if everything in that email is true and they trying to invalidate him, discredit him by making it false?
Yeah.
Putting doubt in your mind, because that's what they do. They love to put some doubt in your mind about things that are true. It's the same thing they did with 9/11. It's the same thing they did with the wars. All of that.
Right.
They put doubt in people's mind about Muammar Gaddafi, different leaders. That's what they do.
No, here's the thing. Like, and Russo, like, that's the part that you're not thinking about. You're saying that the email came from the military, then not the military, the government. I get what you're saying, Cash. I see it. But the logic is not there that the person that made this email sent it to these people and others, supposedly. And also, the person that sent this email wasn't Matt Livelsberger. It was somebody else that set Matt Livelsberger up for this whole thing and then still went and wiped out his record of this car.
I don't know.
But we have record of other cars that he had from being transported back and forth from the States and Germany. We also see it in the system. We also looked up his email addresses, and we could find where he posted on BMW forums and other forums about vehicles that he had. We have found everything. The email that came from, we have no history on, nothing. It's like a black hole on the internet, which is never. You cash free
unless the internet, unless the government got involved. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Look, we all talk about how we don't trust the government, right? And you see things like that when you get too close to something. When people start getting too close to something, they'll go ahead and throw a red herring in there, take you off the path, create some conflict in your mind, some distrust towards this person who's presenting information that may be true, but now you think it's not because they made it look like he's a straight liar.
Sure. No, I'm saying whoever produced that email did it for some other reason. It wasn't Matt Livelsberger, is what I'm saying.
I don't know.
But yeah, it could have.
I ain't gonna sit here and hold you up, dog. I believe it.
It's weird. This entire situation makes zero sense. The only thing that I think we need to highlight three things. The United States of America, we put our military through way too much. We got to start looking at ourselves and being like, how do we take care of them? Our soldiers that protect our freedom of our country. And we got to do better with that from our government standpoint. Now, the other two things are not as serious, but we do have to start talking around the world that we make passports and IDs stronger than any other country on this planet because they survive plane crashes into buildings and they survive explosions in Cybertrucks. So American made is exactly what Trump needs to be pushing in 2025.
So this is what I'm trying to what I'm trying to say though, right? You know all these things.
Yes.
They got the 9/11 passport, everything else,
Yep.
metal melted, steel beams melted, but the passport survived. All the plane was gone, but the passport survived.
Correct.
Same thing right now with this dude. Passport is totally okay. It's fine. We know exactly what's going on here. And you don't think that that's like somebody that's way up there that's calling some shots, making some things happen? Maybe like how I say all the time, the world is a stage and they just setting up the play.
Right. No, and I get what you're saying. I was making a little bit of a joke because it's funny. But I could justify how this ID made it. Because if it's in his wallet and he's sitting on it, it's protected from most of the fire. Right. And let's not to be graphic, but fluids leave body, everything goes down, sits in the seat, kind of would protect the ID. But it's still funny in my world that the government keeps saying it didn't melt the gun. It melted all the plastic to the gun. Go back and look at the picture of the Desert Eagle. The gun didn't melt.
Was the dude's seat
the
melted?
Cybertruck would have melted.
Was the dude's seat melted?
Yes.
Come on. That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear.
The whole interior of those Tesla trucks, it's all plastic. It goes up into flames super quick.
So then it's safe to say it would have bonded to that to his clothing where his wallet was, and it would have melted that wallet.
I still question it, but I'm just saying I could somewhat justify that the ID made it. That's all.
Nope. No
but
way.
It's still weird. It still is weird. I'm trying to find his ID. Hang on.
These people are evil, bro. Ain't no that.
Maybe he was wearing tough skins.
Fire retardant clothing.
See, here's a picture of the ID. Out of everything that melted in that Cybertruck, how in the hell is that thing only with a few little burns and a wrinkle?
Yeah, that's not real, bro.
It's weird.
They held a lighter up to that thing, bro.
It's weird.
Nope.
I don't get it.
Have you ever held a Bic lighter to a can in a pinch when you were in high school? I mean, that looks worse than the ID does.
Yeah, because you used to have to just push down here, pop a few holes with some pins, and then put some green stuff on top of it. That's what I did with the lighter with a can.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like a Bic lighter in that scenario will char the hell out of that thing. But that guy's passport survived.
Right. Dude, we should be going on a marketing campaign. United States makes the most durable passports and IDs known to man.
Yo,
we should be doing it.
I don't trust them. As far as I'm concerned, look, I love the people of our country, right? I love the people in the world, but our governments, all the governments, every single one of them around the world, as far as I'm concerned, bro, they rule by the devil, and they just literally, like they some evil dudes, bro, that just they do stuff like this and have us talking about it while they just keep on getting all the control and making people crazy, arguing about the chaos that they're creating. They create the chaos so they can control the situation. The taxes go up. That's what I want to know. Has taxes gone up because there's too many distractions going on? Distractions happen is to raise the taxes. That's how I feel.
I don't disagree with you. I'm only bringing these things up to make sure it stays on people's radar because it seems like people are already accepting PTSD is it and they're checked out. It doesn't matter. And then the New Orleans one, it's not even being talked about anymore. And this is where my head goes. I don't coincidence that two people did a terrorist attack on the same day. Kind of weird. Kind of weird.
That right there, Melanie, leather is flesh. Whatever would have happened to the skin would have happened to the wallet.
He did have skin that had tattoos that remained.
You just can't do it.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's what they did show. Now the tattoos, I don't really care too much for. You would have to kind of argue a little bit. One thing I still have a question mark on the tattoos while I'm bringing it up. the FBI, not the FBI, Las Vegas Metro PD showed a lion, not a lion, like a tiger. It was on his arm, all black, not like painted, colored or anything. And then they show inside the bicep here a tattoo, but the picture they were showing shows outside of the bicep.
Well, that's because the skin shrinks in fire and rotates.
Well, he was a big dude, so it's possible. My arms, not so much. That wouldn't happen.
I was being very sarcastic. It just
no, I get it. Let's jump into the other topics, guys. One of the things that we were going to talk about is Donald Trump in his press conference today. One of the things that he did say, which I find very weird to even try to pronounce and say, spit out of my mouth, Gulf of America. How does that sound to you guys?
I like it.
Free?
I think it's goofy.
Okay, I think it's weird too.
It's ours. We're going to be changing sort of the opposite of Biden, where he's closing everything up, essentially getting rid of $50 to $60 trillion worth of assets. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can stop them. And we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and Canada. It's ours.
President Trump is trying to assault our earth, is what he's trying to do. Okay? Let me just go ahead and say this right now. Donald Trump is trying to assault our earth. He knows that we're in a climate crisis right now. Why would he change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, which is going to end up killing a bunch of trees that's going to have to produce the paper to create the maps and history books that now are going to show the Gulf of America? It's disgusting. I'm so sick of this. We're not going to have a planet in 10 years.
I think this is Trump's 4D chess, where he's talking about all this bizarre stuff that's probably not going to happen, and it just distracts from how disappointing Congress already is.
Yeah, I can give it that. Let's let him keep
You're
talking
muted.
to see when he realizes he's muted.
I realized it. I noticed. But everything that he's talking about, like, I agree with you, Free. Everything that Trump is talking about doing, like all of this Canada stuff, the Greenland stuff, and yes, I'm chiming in on some of the jokes. I think it's funny, and the memes are fantastic. But it's not a priority to me. Like, none of that. I don't care about Greenland. I don't want it part of our land. If it's something that will benefit our country, then let's consider it. But do we have to put effort into it? We know. Let's use Russo's talk. Oh, I can walk and chew gum at the same time. Our government can't. They are so narrow focused and they are so stuck in their ways. No, they can't do two things at the same time.
Well, I mean, I would appreciate having Greenland. I'm just saying. I mean, why not?
It's not green.
It doesn't matter. It's ice. It's ice over there. I know, but it's still more land. You know what I'm saying? It's still more land, and why not?
So, Free, go ahead. What do you think about this whole stuff? All of it. You just think it's a waste, or you?
It's all about the minerals, man. It's always about money and the minerals. You know, the oil, uranium. You know, that's what it's always about.
Right.
But don't you think, like, if America grabbed more land, right? If we did, let's say that we took over most of the world, well, then we wouldn't have to have borders, and then everybody would be happy. Like, everybody that wants to come to America, they would be an American, so you wouldn't have to worry about it.
No,
I'm more in favor of decentralizing than doing what the globalists want us to do, which is create one government, or one government per continent, and letting the globalists easily control those governments with money.
Sure. Yeah, my thing is you look at it, you look at Canada, enormous amount of oil, just not able to do it with their climate. They have to move it, which is where the Keystone pipeline was coming in, Keystone XL pipeline. And we were going to move that oil out of their climate and pump it down into southern United States so we can refine it year round.
Well, they
So,
were talking
yeah,
about taking it
we
out
want
via
Canada.
Alaska too, from Western Canada during Trump's first term.
Yeah, that's true. They were. And so Greenland, I'm sure, has a whole bunch of mineral-rich land, just like Canada does, that they can't pursue or do anything because it's the climate. And
Oh no, I don't think
I
we
don't
should
know.
drill in Alaska, dog.
you think we should?
I don't
Or
think
shouldn't?
we should.
Well, where should we get our oil?
I'll take it from somewhere else. Like let's
Greenland
Saudi Arabia.
has
let's make Saudi
Greenland
Arabia
has
part of America.
12% of the global rare earth element reserves, which is all the stuff
That's
that they
significant.
need. Yeah, which or the rare earth elements, the REE, which is, you know, what is necessary for all the things that we need now, which are smartphones, vehicles,
I say we take Greenland.
batteries, chips, all those things. Plus, they have 20% of the world's known uranium reserves, which that's nuclear power and all of the things that go with that. And then they have about 11% of the zinc reserves. So that's huge numbers.
I say we take it because Greenland is already like a place nobody wants to live, so we could just drill there. In Alaska, you have a vast ecosystem and a whole bunch of native tribes that live there that are they getting messed up right now. If you want to be real, if you look into it, Alaska ain't being friendly to the people that live there, and taking their land on some shady stuff, and it's really messing up the ecosystem there for like the animals and stuff that live there and the people that live there. It's kind of displacing people, and I don't know. I think that and Alaska is America. You feel me? So let's just take Greenland, make that a part of America, and it's already like vacant. So, you know, let's do that thing there.
Yeah, I think I just think we don't need to be putting our effort towards that. If we were to put our effort into anything other than our debt and cleaning up our country within our borders, fine, let's solve daylight savings. Let's put our effort into that. We don't need more land. We are already
obviously
bragging.
do. We
Trump
definitely
already
do.
is bragging that we have a lot of oil reserves in our land right now. Why are we not using it?
Because
Why
it
do we
will
need
harm
others?
our land. It will harm our land and displace a couple people. So
So we
why
go
not
and take
take
somebody
Greenland where?
else's?
Why not take Greenland where, like I said, there's not a whole lot of people there. You know what I'm saying? There's not a whole lot going on in Greenland. What they got, like 56,000 people that live there on the whole place of Greenland.
Yes, they do.
56,000. We can move them into Chicago, dog.
They
That wouldn't be a
don't want to.
problem.
You think people in Greenland want to live in Chicago?
I'm just saying we could put them anywhere. We have a whole bunch of land over here in America where people could live. And we take that and we're like, okay, this is going to be our resource part of the country. This is where we're going to grab everything that we need to sustain the country that we've already built. This state right here is going to be the work state. This is where we take everything from. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be great. And it solves a lot of the issues that happen between the natives in America with pipelines and then the ecosystem over there in Alaska and the natives that's getting messed up over there. I think that could be a good fit. And then we take Canada and people could go on nature walks 24/7, you know?
Canada is the same thing, though. Canada is the fourth largest oil producer globally. They have 10% of the known proven oil reserves in the world. Yep. They have nickel, uranium, 20% of the world's uranium reserves. They have 85% of our lumber comes from Canada.
That's what I'm saying. And it's already established.
A lot of our agriculture, including our eggs, come from Canada.
It's established. We already got the places set up there. You feel me? That's perfect. That is perfect.
But then they're
so again, Trump is being a businessman
state too.
That's really what it comes down to. Trump again is proving that he is a fantastic businessman. He's over here thinking about them bucks, bro. Look, we need where's the oil at? Greenland and where? Oh, Canada. All right, check it out. How much? Like that's what Trump's on, and that's great.
Sure. Yeah, I like that is the whole thing in my mind is it's all for business. That's all this is.
Take over Mexico, you could fill up the prisons, you know? Good. It's a whole bunch of cartel down there in Mexico ready to go to prison. That's perfect.
At least we didn't invade them on a diplomatic mission.
Right?
That's
There you go.
the silver lining.
But
We didn't
I don't know.
didn't find a terrorist cell that we needed to go in and take their uranium.
I do have to say it is really effed up that we can't give the 51st state to Puerto Rico. We're going to end up giving it to Canada or Greenland. Like Puerto Rico, we've been taking their taxes and they get nothing from us for decades.
Well, yeah, they do. They do get
No, they
something
don't.
from us. They get to come to America.
Guam has entered the chat.
Guam is
Thank you, Leanne. They get to come to America, bro. Don't get me started, man. I don't want to
they
hear
get
none of
to
that.
come to America. Like
Yeah, they get to come and they're Americans. Puerto Ricans are Americans. That's the trade-off.
but they
And you're
don't
too-
get any of the any government backing stuff like we do. We just experiment on them. Go and look up birth control. We tested it on Puerto Ricans first.
Obviously, it didn't work.
Look, you know I love my Puerto Rican people.
I
but
should just.
Look,
mute
that's
myself.
what I'm arguing, Cash, is like this whole thing. It's messed up that we can't go to Puerto Rico and be like, we'll make you our 51st state. We've already beaten you up enough.
no, they don't. I don't even think they should be. They shouldn't even want to be a state. You know, just you don't want this. Don't do
Here.
it. And it's too
Trust
far. That's
that.
the reason why.
What's the one that's got all the NFL players? We should make that one a state. The Samoans. We should make
Oh.
that the state. We
Those
need
are
more
also-
middle linebackers.
Samoa would never go for it.
No.
They're very
Samoa
proud
and
people.
You don't think they want Kennedy to be
Polynesian, yeah.
in charge of their HHS?
No, bro, they are very proud people and they're self-sufficient over there. The island, they got everything they need. You ain't never watched Moana? Don't-
Oh,
I'm,
geez.
I'm totally joking, by the way.
Dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying?
So-
They do make really good Girl Scout cookies, though. By the way,
look it. Puerto Rico does get a lot from us, bro.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They really do. You
Trump
you
gave
could
them
be
paper
saying,
towels when they had the hurricane, bro.
did they have what did the U.S. government do when they got hit by a hurricane and they needed power?
Trump went down there and
Nothing.
gave them all
no
paper towels, bro.
no one did anything
I watched him
because
hand
they
paper
had no
towels out.
power. I
didn't
know
we sick
people
the Clinton
personally-
Foundation on them too? When
No, that was
Yes.
Haiti.
No, they did both. Haiti was
No, it was-
second. They did Puerto Rico first.
The Clintons was in Haiti.
That was the most recent one, Cash.
No,
the one
the
prior to that
Clintons.
was in Puerto
The
Rico.
Clintons were in
That's
Haiti.
what I'm
Does
saying.
everyone remember? That's all I'm
I-
saying. You get
Yes.
it if you get it. If you don't, you don't. I just wanted to point that out. But yes, the Clinton Foundation was also in Puerto Rico, but the Clintons were also in Haiti. If you know, you
All
know.
right, let's
minus 500 for cash.
right? I want to pull up something funny. Did either of you watch Whitney Cummings roast on New Year's Eve?
Yes.
You
I
watched
saw
the
some
whole
of the
thing?
clips.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing and it was great.
It's
We're still on. We can
fantastic.
still go.
I want to.
Great.
I'm gonna find the whole thing. Hang on. I want to play it because I think it's hilarious, but it also speaks to a lot of what, and we're kind of bouncing back a little bit, but what we keep talking about with the Clintons and
They
how
were
she
in
called
Haiti.
out why are all the president's chefs dying? Like why? What happened? This is a little clip of it. This is not the whole thing. We'll play it real quick since it's 1 minute. I have to because I think this is hilarious.
Let me be clear though. 2024 was not only negative. The media wants us to believe this country is so divided, but we actually came together a lot this year. Like as a nation, we unanimously agreed that we would rather see J-Lo in a toxic relationship than in concert. We all agreed the government totally knows what drones are and are telling us the drones are still up there and we have no idea what's behind them. No idea.
Facts.
I mean, they're still up high, so I guess we can rule out that they were made by Boeing. The point is,
Look at that. They're like, oh,
That one hit the hardest. It's like, what? The drones are still up, so they weren't made by Boeing. Got
no, the
it.
hardest hit was when she said that Kamala Harris was forced on us like a Pfizer vaccine.
We're getting
Is
to that.
Anderson
all
Cooper
agree on a
in
lot of
quarantine there?
He's bubble boy.
and since I only have a minute left live on establishment media, why don't we just say a bunch of things that we know that they'll never cover? Okay, ready, go. Trump Jr. didn't have any silverware in his house. No one thought that was weird. Are we still rolling? Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia put money into Disney, so just know there won't be any girl characters in the next Cars movie. Are we still rolling? This is wild. Okay. Why have so many presidents' chefs died? Weird. Boy Scout of America, they renamed itself Scouting America. You know who else changed their name? Sean Combs. Just saying. Let's learn something in 2025. I can't believe you guys are still letting me go. This is amazing. I love CNN. Please stop me, Andy, because I will just keep going. Happy.
That's the end of it. It's a short clip. It's not the whole thing, but it is hilarious.
She said that it's funny that the party of pro-choice didn't give their voters one when it came to who was going to run for president. Then she said that Kamala Harris was forced on us harder than the Pfizer vaccine. Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
And if it was patented by Pfizer or Moderna, it's insane. But is this the other side finally feeling strong enough to stand up and go against the narrative that they're all told to get in line and support?
No.
Is this them breaking down to where there's people trying to separate themselves?
No.
Well,
this
also
is the illusion of hope.
Okay.
Was that a sign that they're not allowed to talk about stuff? Because I would have said she was one of the least funny people on planet Earth before that. And
I agree.
All of those were hilarious. So, like, are they just so throttled, like Elon does to us? Like, are they so throttled that she can't say funny stuff, so she says not funny stuff all the time?
Well, yeah, that's what the narrative is. This is one of the fights that I've been in with a whole bunch of MAGA people over which is our next topic, but we'll get to it in a second, is a party must get in line and back Mike Johnson. We must back Mike Johnson because it needs to get done so Donald Trump can be certified on Monday. And it's like, no, we have 3 days to work this out to figure out a speaker. Like, we don't have to do it right now. We don't all have to get in line and back this individual. But the left does that so well that everybody just gets in line and just votes as they should for their party. That's where the problem is. Come on, Cash, say it.
I just feel like all this is too convenient. Okay, CNN now is letting stuff like this be said. Mark Zuckerberg is now a free speech champion. I don't know, what is George Soros gonna come out and like donate a bunch of money to Trump, or I don't know what's next. What's gonna be the thing?
Tim Cook did. Tim Cook's putting $1 million into the inauguration fund.
So that's what I mean. I feel like this is just like the illusion. This is the illusion. Like, look, guys, everything's getting better, everything's fine, and then something horrible is gonna happen.
Russo has to say that he's mainstream media.
Yeah, and I'm not.
I don't know.
Well,
I
she's
just
been
don't feel like
because
this
she doesn't fall in line with the Democrats. Is what we're saying. But Cash, I get what you're saying. I have those same reservations and so same concerns. They're
gonna pull the rug, man. That's it. That's what it feels like. They gearing up. Everybody's being too nice to Trump right now, and they know that Trump ain't like Trump's on one with them, and they know it. So they're faking like, yeah, we everybody's good now. We like Trump. We're gonna start being honest again. We're gonna start telling the truth. And ain't nobody just like. But in the meantime, you got a Cybertruck blowing up in front of Trump Hotel. Message, here's your sign. Then you got a dude driving through Louisiana and taking the lives of a whole bunch of people. 2 assassination attempts on his life. Try to put him in jail. Hit him with all kind of charges. First president ever got 34 felonies or whatever, how many. And now everything's cool. Like, we're good now. Everybody's good. Yeah, we're good. No, I just don't. I don't buy
January 10th. January 10th is still a thing, man. His sentencing for the hush money case. I thought that was going to be dropped.
No, they already said he ain't going to prison for it.
Well, he still can be sentenced. He can still be sentenced for it.
They're not, but they're going to sentence him to what? There's no jail time.
Well,
it doesn't matter. What are you going to sentence me to?
Cash, welcome to what the left will run with. He was sentenced so they can say he went through the entire process. Right now, you can't say he got 34 felonies because he technically wasn't sentenced for all 34 felonies.
Even so, like, again, they ain't pushing to say nothing at this point. That's my whole thing. They're gearing up knowing that he's about to be in office. They have literally backed down. Jack Smith backed down. Fannie Willis found or she got to pay like $22,000 to, like, it's all kinds of stuff going on right now. Everything is looking like it's changing. And I don't know. Something just don't feel right. I don't know what it is. I'm not trying to make nobody scared or nothing, but I just don't know what it is. It doesn't feel right. Something is very off.
I agree with you.
Trump's not bucking any of the big things. You know, he hasn't talked about not spending the money on, you know, the military industrial complex. He hasn't talked about closing prisons or, you know, taking away the school to prison pipeline. You know, he's not talking about any of the things that major
they
donors
would have a problem with.
Would have a problem with. So, you know, I don't think they're scared of Trump.
That scares me too, though. That right there scares me too. To be honest,
to become president, you need the major donors. So Trump, to this point, hasn't said anything that would, you know, buck the, you know, the elites that have been in control for all these years. He hasn't done anything to buck them. So I don't really think that it's coming.
Yeah, sure. It gets tough because we're gonna just have to see what plays out, right? Jumping into our last topic, like one of the things, let me see if I can find that comment really quick. When it comes down to Mike Johnson, we could deal with him later. One of the things you can never count on with government is be able to deal with something later. As soon as you pass something, everybody moves on to another topic. If you want to send a message to Mike Johnson to say that we don't back you, you better do it the first time or not at all. And that is exactly what happened on January 6th, is the Republicans and Thomas Massie, I back him 100% in everything that he did, even though he got reamed for it when there were multiple other people that didn't back Mike Johnson right away either. The whole point of it was to emphasize, Mike Johnson, you do not have the power or the backing. We could remove you if we wanted. And that message needed to be sent.
So I was biting my tongue because I didn't think we were on this topic yet. But as you know, I was one of the first to come out and say Mike Johnson is absolutely terrible. And, you know, I would throw in there that they could have dealt with the Johnson problem ahead of time. They could have had the votes figured out ahead of time for who they wanted instead of Johnson. So they could have walked in there and elected anyone. They chose to elect Johnson. And the funniest thing about the whole thing was Trump's endorsement, that rambling thing that had, you know, all the accusations and all the, you know, the bragging and, you know, the typical Trump stuff. All the way at the bottom was the only thing that he could think of to say nice about Johnson was that he's a God-fearing man. And my favorite was that he's the best equipped to work with the made-up thing that doesn't exist called Doge. And Doge's whole purpose is to cut the spending that Mike Johnson's responsible for. So Mike Johnson's best characteristic is he can work with Doge to cut the spending that Mike Johnson could have cut anyways when he increased the budget last year by over 10%.
I agree. What do you think?
Blows my mind. Just blows my mind.
Either way, to me, it's going to be it'll be the same thing, no matter who gets the speaker position. And the reason
if it was somebody that didn't suck, it wouldn't be different.
Right.
It would be different. I mean,
he's
terrible. He's absolutely terrible. He rubber stamped everything Biden wanted.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you.
He only cut like $50 billion from all of the legislation from 2024. All of the legislation, $50 billion, while raising spending by over $600 billion. So, I mean, he was absolutely just a Biden stooge for all of 2024. And Trump continued to support him. Everybody's like rallying behind him like he's the second coming of Trump or something. I mean, he's
this is
absolutely terrible.
So that's I feel you, right? And here's my thing. Now that Trump is elected, right, and he's certified and all that, I could say these things, right? I don't know why, but I'm not worried. I don't want to say worried. I'm not worried about it. I'm nervous about some of them things. Some of the people, you know, that Trump has picked or spoke highly of, or you know, had they back.
Rubio.
Yeah, you know, and it just, I don't understand why. You know, I don't understand why, especially after, you know, after your first 4 years when you was in office, you said that you aligned yourself around the wrong people. And now you told us that you got this, like you learned a little bit more, you know who to have around you and all this. So I'm questioning, like, why trust some of these people who, the American people that voted for you, we don't trust some of these people.
No.
Why are you so quick to trust
money,
these people?
I would bet big money that Rubio is Miriam Adelson or whoever is doing the talking for Miriam Adelson. And I would assume that Mike Johnson is, you know, a big money donor too, that said, stick with him, because Trump has stuck with him every step of the way, even when, you know, most of Congress had turned on him.
I don't know, man. It's just, like I say, it's just a bunch of stuff that when I start thinking about it, it makes me go, so I don't like to really think about it. I'm just going to wait and trust that everything's going to work out the way that it's supposed to, because I do got some reservations about some things, bro. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to voice them right now, but I got some reservations about some things. I got a couple concerns, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm really glad that he came out and said that he was going to, well, the whoever it was that came out on the news and said that he said he's going to pardon 1,000 J6ers. I still ain't hear him say it. I seen that they questioned him. Was it today? They asked him a question if he was going to pardon 1,000 J6ers, and he pivoted into rest in peace Ashley Babbitt's death. Did you notice that? Did anybody else notice that? Yes. That made me have some red flags today. It made me like, yo, why you just didn't say, yeah, I'm gonna pardon those men? Why pivot and then say, you know, and bring up Ashley Babbitt? The question wasn't about Ashley Babbitt or who lost their life that day. And I'm not against him speaking about Ashley Babbitt. God bless her. We talk about her all the time. But the question was specifically about, are you going to pardon the J6ers? And then he pivoted off of that question and went into that. You know what I'm saying?
He's said nothing concrete about anything since the
Trump
day he declared he was running again.
It just made me say, that's all. I'm not knocking him. I'm not saying he said anything bad. I'm just saying he didn't say what I thought he would have said, being asked that question directly. Why pivot so hard and talk about no police officers died and Ashley Babbitt, beautiful soul, the only one that lost her life that day, and there was someone else, and he pivoted talking about Roseanne Boylan but didn't mention the name. And I was just like, wow, that was strange to me. Right. Like, why not just answer the question?
Yeah.
You know, because you said it on the stage when you was running. You said it on stage when you was running that, how about pardons for the J6ers? I'm going to pardon those guys. You said it on stage. So why not take that time to, I don't know. Maybe he's just playing a weight game.
Johnson promised 3 things when he took over the speakership in fall of 2023. He promised release all the J6 tapes. He promised secure the border, and he promised cutting taxes and cutting spending. Nothing. And he's done none of those. He's fulfilled none of those. He released some J6 tapes. The border's worse than it was. He did absolutely nothing to try to do anything about the border. And the income tax thing drives me crazy.
Yep.
My bad to bring up the J6
they can plan ahead. Why isn't there this cut taxes bill already written? A bill to cut taxes on tips is written for both the House and the Senate already. What about the whole working class? You want to stimulate the economy, cut taxes on people that work 40 hours a day or 40 hours a week and are, heavily burdened by these oppressive taxes that have gone up, up, and up.
No, I feel that. The whole bringing up the whole J6 thing is not, I'm not trying to, down them or nothing, but it's a near and dear topic to my heart because I got brothers that I care about, that I talk to, that I know what they're going through in there, that, they're still locked up and they counting on them pardons. And it would imagine the relief that you would feel, when you hear the president now that it's been certified saying, yes, they're coming home. They are coming home. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it makes me have it makes me have some little reservations, bro. That's all. Right. I really want them to get out of there, bro. Especially my bro, Ryan and Shane and Doodoo, they going through some things. Kelly Meggs, I think he's doing all right where he's at, but the other brothers they going through some things, man. I want to see everybody come home, so that's why I want to hear it.
What's the holdup? What would prevent him from saying, "This is absolutely what I'm doing day one on the J6ers"? To me, that's unexcusable.
He did it. He said that, but now more recently today, he's a little bit more reluctant. Now, the part that I do hope, this is part of where I was leading you into that question last night, Cash, is John Sullivan. Everybody says every January 6er needs to be pardoned. That says John Sullivan needs to be pardoned. And I do not agree with that.
Who said that?
When you say every J6er needs to be pardoned.
He's not a J6er. He did not get arrested on January 6th or after January 6th for January 6th.
But the system considers him part of you guys.
No, they do not. He was not arrested for January 6th, brother. He's not in prison for January 6th. No,
he was
not.
charged in my state, dude. Yes,
bro.
He's charged with January
but he
6th.
had okay, true. But he had charges that he was already going in for. He got convicted, from what I understand, he got convicted on some stuff that had nothing to do with January 6th. They didn't hit him with nothing for January 6th until way later after the fact, when he was already going before the courts and people started bringing his name up. He's not considered a J6er.
So
I think it's implied when you say J6ers that it's, as Terry calls them, the J6 Patriots. Like, I think it's implied
anybody that was
it's
there.
No,
I think it's implied that it's the good guys, not
the good guys,
not the whole lot.
He's not a part of our
But
community.
does Donald Trump know that?
Yes, 100% he knows that.
I doubt it. I doubt he pays attention to that type of detail. That's what worries me.
So let me ask you something.
That's why I keep calling it out. Like, John Sullivan does not deserve a pardon.
He would not get no pardon, bro. And it's not going to be just this. You don't think that a pardon goes for everybody that was at J6 gets pardoned. That's not how that would go. No, but that's still, it still wasn't good, but it's going to be a name.
You can't say it until there's a document, because Hunter Biden was pardoned for no matter anything he did for 10, 11
But his
years.
name was on it. It was not a pardon that said anybody that did what my son did is going to get pardoned. It's your name is on it. They're going to have to look and see. And believe me, they have to. That's just the way that it works. They have to put your name on it. They just can't put a pardon and say, well, everybody that had anything to do with this incident is free. No, they got to look at your name and say, okay, yeah, this person. I get that. Yeah.
They have to go through the process and be able to name names. Sure. Right. But if they say, because it looks like he was sentenced today for a felony and a misdemeanor charges related to his conduct during the breach of the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. That is what John Sullivan has received. If you want the real full charges, I'll scroll through it. But yes, he was charged for January 6 for entering the Capitol. This individual only did that to cause a problem and make everybody that was there with not ill intent look bad. He should not be pardoned.
Right now. I want to see what he's in jail for right
now.
Well,
and
here, I'll throw the link in
to hit a point.
Justice.gov. I'll pull it up on the screen, dude.
To hit the point that you made, though, Casey, too, he's backtracked more than once. He's backtracked today. He backtracked before where he said, all nonviolent, the numbers have changed, he doesn't have a plan, and I just think that this is an extremely important one, that these people, have already been burdened enough by this, and it needs to be a day one thing.
I agree. It has to be day one. If we get only some of it done on day one, I'm good with that, because it's complicated. And the reason why I'm saying that is I don't want this freaking individual.
Bro, when you read his whole thing right there, they're not putting him in there as a patriot. His whole thing is.
I'm hoping that we don't blanket pardon and accidentally pardon this special individual. That's why I keep bringing his name up. Because he should be charged. He should receive everything. And the reason why I say that is I'll go pull up my J6 post. Like, he posted in his Discord server. Bear with me a second. Just getting back to it. And got it. And I'll share screen. So on my post on January 6th, I always share all of the videos and stuff that go against the narrative of January 6th. We come down through here. And this special dumbass posted this on his own Discord channel saying he is going in as counter intel. Notice the date on it, January 6, 2021. This is John Sullivan. He goes by Jaden X, and if you go look up his video that he released with Jade Sacker from CNN, that he released from when he entered in the Capitol that day and sold it to mainstream media for hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is John Sullivan. Yeah. And yes, but he should not receive any pardon for any of it. Here's his video. Like, he shouldn't. And that's my argument, is he cannot get a pass. This guy
wouldn't get one, though, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The community knows all about John Sullivan. If the community knows about it, Julie Kelly knows about him. All the people that are around Trump know about this dude. He ain't getting no pardon.
I'm not going to assume that they do. I'm going to make sure everybody else
does. She posts about him. She's posted about him before. The community knows all about John Sullivan.
People move on real quickly. This guy was sentenced over a year ago now.
Yeah, way late.
No one's bringing his name up but me.
Because he's done. He's cooked. He's out the way. He ain't causing no conflicts no more.
Which you just said they're not going to forget about him. But he's out of the way.
Bro.
This is why I keep saying it's a problem.
He's a known Antifa member. Known.
Yes, he is.
He is not going to get a pardon. He's a known, and he's not an infiltrator. He's a known Antifa member. Known by everybody. He's the guy that recorded Ashley Babbitt getting her life taken. You don't think they know who Jaden X is?
Dude, I get it. But we just went over Trump picks wrong people. We literally just had this conversation.
I don't think they're going to be that wrong.
You guys are saying, everybody is saying that it's okay, he's going to do the right thing. But he picks the wrong people. So we have to keep saying things to keep it on radar. That's the only thing that I'm saying. It has to keep being brought up so it's not forgotten. This guy needs to be locked up for a while. But yeah, we went way off topic on that one. But that's my whole passion, is he cannot get pardoned at all.
He won't.
I hope not.
I just want to address a couple comments in the comment section that basically said, wait for Trump to get into office, and, Trump might have reasons that he's not saying or whatever. My point is always, if you want to make America great again, that requires extreme vigilance to watching what's going on and making our voices heard. We saw a great example of it with the omnibus bill. That didn't go exactly like I wanted it to, but it was at least voices heard and there was some change there. So I think we need to be vigilant before Trump says something, when Trump says something, and after Trump saes something.
It's the government.
I don't think he would tell you that he should get a free pass, and I don't think that he's got
Amber,
the most
you just
job
don't like
in the world.
me, and I'm used to it.
And I gotta point this out to everybody that's watching right now, that's in the comments. Look, I love y'all, I really do. But Trump's not above criticism or questioning. The only person that you ain't supposed to criticize or question is God. All right, that's it. People can question things, and it's okay to do that. When you stop doing that and you trust somebody 100%, that's where you set yourself up for failure. All right, so don't get mad at everybody if they got an opinion or they think something. That's why that's why we are where we are right now in the country. People can't have a conversation because they say something that you don't like. We got to cut that out.
I'm gonna go clip that because you're gonna need that clip for the next 4 years.
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
Dude,
See, now you putting doubt.
Welcome to my life when you've been gone.
No, but you putting doubt now. I think
what's
the next
wrong
4 years.
With you? You're supposed to like Trump, and it's like, no, I could still call it out when he makes mistakes. Like I can't.
Yeah. 100%. That's
but
what
everybody's always in the corner of why? Like, no, Trump can't make mistakes.
The Hillsborough sheriff who, arrested the pastor. We stopped him from being in the cabinet. Good things have happened by questioning Trump to this point. And so I think you just, it's our country. He works for us. We should say whatever we want to say and push back.
Yeah. Honestly, my opinion is a lot of people are scared of Trump, so they don't disagree with him when they get into his presence. And so a lot of people just jumped onto his ship. What we're seeing now is Trump is picking people strategically because he learned his lesson from 2016 And for example, the big disaster prior to New Year's Eve, you have all the H-1B conversations. Everybody was trying to crucify Elon Musk and Vivek for what they were saying about H-1B visas, but Donald Trump literally changed his stance, even though he said he didn't, on H-1B visas, because he said it's a horrible program. It needed to go. He said all of that back in 2016, 2017.
Yeah, I watched that.
And then today, he is saying, no, I didn't switch my stance. I actually think it's a decent program, but it needs work.
Oh, he said he educated himself on it. He didn't realize back then.
He educated himself with Elon's money is what he educated himself with.
Well, or people that use the program. People that use it.
Elon wants it, so all of a sudden Trump's interested in learning more.
Nah.
Every business wants it.
Yeah.
Every business wants it.
Not every business. It's over 50% of the H-1B visas are 3 companies that find people for the tech companies in Silicon Valley.
Sure. Yeah, but you got to realize that's just because that's their skill set, right? Like a lot of them get into tech very easily.
I don't got
another point though too is that Trump, had his own private transition team so he could hit the ground running.
Correct.
So again, people that are saying, give him time, he was going to hit the ground running. We're, less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I like that. That was real right there. What you just pulled up. That is very real. And I noticed that over on X, man. You say the wrong thing. Like, especially me. I gotta say this. If I say something wrong and it's somebody that hasn't been following me for a long time that doesn't know me, like you go through my comments on some of my stuff on X, and you'll see some people in the older videos when I first came home and I was talking, boy, it's a little bit, they get a little hateful because they might have came in at the wrong time on a live and they're like, they think that I'm against Trump. So then automatically I'm just I'm all the names. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, bro, I'm a J6 and I'm a Trump supporter. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, so now you cool. Now you're cool.
Well, welcome,
come on, man.
Welcome to my life. Welcome to my life.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm like, and that's where the Trump derangement syndrome, it goes both ways. You're either Trump deranged and can't stand him, or you're Trump deranged and you just adore everything of like, if he
he can't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, when they deified Obama, we made fun of him, but there's a lot of people that have deified Trump too. I mean, there's pictures all over X of Trump as king. Trump is, some sort of religious figure. I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Teresa said that he said that he will review J6 people in jail and pardon anyone who was nonviolent. See, that's
he did say that prior.
That was 2 revisions ago.
I want to say that was like almost CNN town hall long ago. Is when he said that. And I 100% agree with that. Like, I wasn't saying John Sullivan's name to make sure it's on the radar, but because we are on the doorstep of a potential decision being made, that's why I'm being so vocal about it, is reminding everybody we can't let this happen. We still need to pardon all of the good J6ers that were there with ill intent and got caught up in a mess. But the people that were there for bad reasons intentionally should go, for sure. And when it comes down to all of this, like, that's where we have to question everything that's coming from the government. It doesn't matter who's your president, who's your elected official, any of it. You question it at all. So we can make sure that we are doing the right thing for our country. If we just accept whatever is done in Congress or by the president, we're screwed as a nation.
I say pardons on day one. Big old
I
blanket
hope
pardon. Even the guys that I disagree with, let them out. Let them out.
Well,
all of them, except for Jaden X is different. That's not. I ain't talking about John Sullivan. I'm talking about the people that were at the Capitol that got caught up in that got violent charges, because I was there and I seen why they got them violent charges. Pardon everybody. Pardon everybody on day one.
My thing is it doesn't matter. Anybody that was there, even if they got caught up in the mix, they served their time already. It's already been enough. So yes, they should be done, and they should just be let go. But I still want some of these bad people like John Sullivan held accountable.
The other part too, and obviously I've been widely criticized because I'm not, a MAGA person, but the other part of this too is Trump can only do so much. The president is less powerful than Congress. So that's why I'm talking about lining up Congress in the best way to do the things that Trump has basically floated as ideas of what would be the core values that most of my friends want to see happen, whether they're MAGA or not. And so it takes a lot of planning and strategy and alignment. I mean, look at just the cabinet. Like, he wasn't able to snap his fingers and say, I want Kennedy, I want these people. He had to, like, there's obviously been horse trading going on and all of that. I mean, Lindsey Graham, who he's supposed to be buddies with now, Lindsey Graham has been a stick in the mud on all of those. And, a lot of horse trading goes on. Congress is going to be a huge pain. Congress was a huge pain to him the first time he was in office.
Yep.
That's why they have the tax on tips thing already written. Where's the tax on everybody else that works thing?
Right.
And also, side note, can I just write in my check to myself tips in the memo and not pay taxes?
No, I'm going to say all of my income self-identifies as a tip. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm going to say whenever I get like super chats or anything like that. I'm like,
Those was tips for the show.
As long as I'm just going to start taking my money and putting it in my underwear like it's a tip.
That's who.
Taking a picture of every paycheck you receive in your waistline and for documentation, and then when the IRS shows up, here's my proof. It was a tip. Here you go.
Yeah, I'll send the IRS 1,000 pages of thong pics with dollar bills in them.
That's good.
That is so exactly what we should be doing with the government when they do their audits. I'm down with that. But anyways, all in all, it's question everything, but also have a little bit of faith in what's going on, right? I don't want to create mass panic. There's no reason for anything like that, even though things get nasty and bad. Like New Year's Day was not a good day. Like that should have been a day that everybody just woke up with hangovers and was just chilling. But no, unfortunately, we had to deal with some bad stuff that day, and it's rough. And I think that things are going to be getting better, but it's going to have to get a little bit worse this year before it gets a lot better.
I mean, but come on. Here's the thing, right? I hear you. You say New Year's was bad. No,
yeah, it was.
New Year's was not bad. New Year's was
people
fantastic.
Lost their life.
People lose their lives at every New Year's, Casey. There's mass shootings all the time. There's little kids getting popped at. There's all types of stuff going on in the world all the time. It's just the news put it in front of you. So it made you feel like it was a bad day. Bro, is in the words of my mans from Paid in Full. Yo, brothers die every day, B. That's the truth. And it's not that it's a good thing, but when they put stuff in the news, we got to stop letting that dictate how we feel. Because that's the whole point of it. They want people to panic. Remorse. They want people to be scared. Oh, terrorist attacks and all this. It wasn't a terrorist attack. It was not a terrorist attack. They're trying to stage it like
that was a legitimate terrorist attack on.
And it was a crazy dude did something crazy, and maybe the government was in on it. I don't know, but a terrorist attack was what happened on 9/11. A terrorist attack is to me something that got to do with foreign nations. That was a crazy American that, whether he was MK Ultra or whatever it was, did something stupid, and the news put it in front of everybody to create some fear and to create some panic and to create some some confusion, and it worked. It worked. I don't buy into none of it. Bro, it's literally outside my door. If I drive for about 15 minutes,
sure,
I can see a horrible day.
But when it comes to someone that could have been radicalized, which it seems like he was, and he turned on his own nation. He turned on his own people. That's a sad day.
How did he turn on his own people? It's the same as
he killed 15 people, and he tried to kill more, but his explosive devices didn't go off.
What made them his people? Because what?
You said he was an American, so we're all American. He tried to turn on his own people.
Okay, but how is that any different than anybody else that kills somebody in America?
Right. I get what you're saying, but it's still a sad day when some American is turning on their people. It's a sad day. I don't care how it's done.
Every day is a sad day in America. Then that's what it is. Every day is a sad day in America. Then because it's people right now, like literally right now, turning on each other in a really messed up way.
Yes.
All throughout this country, you got the dudes that, you know, I don't know, do like drive-bys, or you got the dudes that shoot up theaters or schools, or, you know, people selling drugs. All of that's a bad day. I'm just saying that the reason why they put it all up in the news is to create that kind of, you know, really a political thing, because I don't know if they came out and said who's the Trump supporter and who's the Biden supporter, or why they did what they did, and this one's a Muslim, so then the religious hate and then all. It's BS. It's BS, and it's no different than any other day in America.
I'm the thing is you're accepting it as reality. I am saying it's a sad day because it shouldn't be happening. You are accepting it. You are making
it. I just deal with the reality. It's just the everyday reality. It's not any different than any other day other than it made
which
the
is
news.
accepting it.
It's not accepting it. I'm not okay with it.
Nope.
I'm not accepting it. I'm just saying the news ain't winning in my mind. That's all I'm saying. This was not a terror attack by some foreign nation or some radical Islamic terrorist.
It was a terrorist.
This was a deranged person that served in the United States military that, I guess, I don't know, had a bad day or something and did some crazy stuff. You know, it was horrible. It was horrible what he did, but this is what happens when the society in our country is allowed to, you know, fall into degeneracy, really.
Okay.
And distrust.
We're getting into semantics on how you want to define a word. I will never back down. It was a terrorist attack. Period. Because it doesn't matter if you are American or not, you can still carry out a terrorist attack on your land.
It's to incite terror.
Correct. So that is what I'm saying, is it's a terrorist attack no matter what.
Maybe I'm just sensitive to this stuff because over on TikTok, they try to make it like, you know, this
CCP?
dude was some Arab, you know, terrorist. And I'm like, no, it ain't that. It's not ISIS. It's not Al-Qaeda. It's not, this was an American. It's not that. That's all I'm saying. It ain't that.
Well, we don't know it wasn't that either.
You're getting caught up because TikTok and this.
Yeah, because when they start saying stuff like ISIS and calling it somebody from over there, then that employs our government to say, okay, this guy, and everybody believes it. It's okay to go ahead and fund a war. Let's go over here and start this mess now.
That is what the government wants.
I'm not with it.
War. It was a terrorist attack, and it wasn't because he became radicalized by something. I don't know what, because he turned on his people and something happened. Was it his religion? I don't know. People blame that. But the part is regardless, it's a terrorist attack. And I say those are sad days that happens on our land. Now, am I saying to go be depressed over it? No, but it's still sad. It's very similar to how you help people work through when they have a death and they go through a funeral. It's sad.
I feel you. It just, it really does, bro. Like that whole thing, like you should, I don't know. You're not on TikTok. You don't deal with none of that stuff.
I don't.
You don't go into debates and all of that kind of stuff, bro. It's crazy because they literally got people, and then it justifies like the militias, you know, it justifies the people in the militias and justifies them saying that they want to do, we should do this to this mosque because they shouldn't be allowed in America. And it just.
Welcome to why I was saying that algorithm and that application should be banned, because they are manipulating the minds of American people and it's controlled by our enemy.
It's the same thing on X. Literally, dudes that wearing swastikas talking about this is why we need to get rid of the Browns and the, you know what I'm saying?
That is controlled by violence, and they are held accountable on that platform.
It's crazy. They're not held accountable. I'll show you an account
right
now.
I lost an account on X,
bro. You might have, but you're not.
They kick Fanny to the curb.
I feel you. That's my whole point.
I'm in trouble right now.
This stuff is like, this stuff is allowed to run rampant while you will get banned for that right there, for saying kick Fanny, whatever you said.
Fanny to the curb.
And then whatever you said, Casey, you got taken off. But there's literally whole accounts sitting on X right now of both sides. You got black people, got pictures of white people and saying some crazy stuff about them. And then you got white people saying some real crazy stuff about black people. Got the hard ER literally on their page, just their profile picture. And it's okay, and they're viral accounts. Like, how are they not banned?
I got suspended for saying put bacon water in it. That was the whole sentence.
I know
bacon
why.
Water in it.
I know.
I didn't even say water cannon. I just said put
crazy.
bacon water in it.
But putting bacon is implying why, and it's hilarious. But it's someone got in their feelings on that one. Is what
I
it
didn't
is.
say. Well, no, that was instant. That was an instant ban. I said
Oh,
bacon
really?
water. That was an instant ban. Yep.
So that means it was algorithmic, and the computer was deciding that, not a human. That's weird. How did it?
Both
know
of
that?
those were instant, and didn't allow me to retract them or anything like that. I appealed them. I didn't even get an answer.
That's weird.
I ain't gonna lie, that does disturb me about X a little bit, bro. I got some concerns with X lately.
You have concerns with X, but not TikTok.
TikTok ain't gonna let you. So you can't say the word white on TikTok.
I got suspended.
You
got
cannot-
suspended for saying that the Maine Secretary of State, when she was trying to ban Trump from the ballot, I got suspended for saying Maine Conf.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, you can't say Hitler on TikTok. You cannot say the word Hitler on TikTok. They will ban you.
I believe it.
Okay, but over there on X, I'm talking
you just
about they
can't
got
speak in violence. You
Bro.
cannot speak in violence.
bro. It's dudes, bro. I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna send you some accounts, and you tell me how these accounts are allowed to be.
I can tell you how. We have the similar problem in X, and it's coming out right now. It seems like
Crazy.
accounts that have over a certain amount of following have free reign to say whatever they want. For example, the perfect example that I heard on the space the other night, and I wish I remember who called this out because it was phenomenal. I would love to give him a shout out. But Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate can say whatever the F he wants on X, and he never gets removed.
I thought his name was Taint.
No, he can. Go watch his videos. He says whatever he wants, and he never gets in trouble. And it's because
Why?
he got millions of followers. Millions. And if those followers turn on that platform, that's a huge loss for that platform.
Well,
It's
Musk
like a
can
big
say
race
F
war.
yourself in the face.
Yeah.
Bro, X is a big old race war. That's what X is. I don't know why my feed pops up with
Race
that. I
war?
got
I wouldn't quite go that far.
Bro,
No.
and I don't follow these people. The people that I follow, they have really good content. Like the people that follow me and the people that I follow have some fantastic content.
I agree with that.
But then they put people's feeds, like stuff that I don't follow these people. I don't know why their stuff is popping up all through, and it's all racial. It's either super pro black or super pro white. And and I'm like, yo, why is this dude's stuff showing up on? He's basically got to hold the, you got brown eyes, the color, saying some crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, bro. And I'm like, why is this in my feed? And then why is it allowed? I go through the comments just to see, like, yo, what's going on over here? And then it's just straight up,
Right.
you're gonna come to your house, you dirty, filthy, ape. And then the other dude's like, yeah, you go back to the Caucasus Mountains, crickety ass. It's like bunch of crazy stuff, bro. And I don't
weird.
get it. So yeah, when we talk about any of those things, bro, like the domestic terrorist and all of that, like me, I don't got a problem with calling it an act of domestic terror. But just when I think terror, when I think of terrorist, I think somewhere across the seas. When you say domestic terrorist, I think of somebody from home. And they use that kind of verbiage when they say terrorist, and then the dude just happens to look like Osama bin Laden if he cleaned up a little bit.
Sure.
It's like, okay, now you're fueling these dudes over here that already don't like anybody that's not white.
Agreed.
And then you're getting these dudes mad because they don't see him as some terrorist. They just see him as a black Muslim, right? So now they got this war going on, and it divides Americans. And then if the government believes the stuff, when they say that there's an ISIS flag, which there was an ISIS flag, I think that maybe the government put it there. I don't see nobody in, I don't see ISIS being that bold, you know what I'm saying, to be over here in America and say, hey, listen, Al-Jabbar Jabari, whatever his name was, go on over there right quick, right? I want you to go into Louisiana, where it's a bunch of really, he killed a lot of black people? Was there a lot of black folks?
People. 15 people. I don't know.
How many of them was black?
I can't tell you. I can only tell
Several,
you.
but not all.
Yeah,
Several,
I can
but
tell
not
you
all.
2 people are white. That's all I know.
Okay, I can't see ISIS saying anything like, yo, I want you to go to a place where it's not a lot of people who the rest of the world will really care about, right? And I want you to just drive your car through there and do it. If it was going to be a terror attack, it'd be, yo, I want you to go and hit this building. I want you to go and do,
that.
you know what I'm saying?
He had IEDs set around where he was at.
Was it a big building where maybe government people were, or maybe where something
It's the
important was
French
going
Quarter.
on?
It was the French Quarter.
I don't
in
know
New
what that
Orleans.
is.
So the French Quarter in New Orleans, Bourbon Street, and then you have
Energy
all of these
district.
buildings. It's big and it's very, very populated, especially on New Year's.
It was a tourism target, basically.
Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
just
see, it
happened
just
to go
doesn't-
at the wrong time because he went at 3 a.m. But if you go back and look at some videos of what Bourbon Street looked like at 1 a.m., there would have been hundreds of people that would have died instead of just 15.
So let me ask you. Let me just ask you this, because you've been deep dived into this. Do you think that this was a terrorist attack
Yes.
from
Yes.
another nation that said, "I want you to go
No.
do this," or do you think it was just an American that was believing in some radical Islamic type deal stuff and
Sure.
acted on his own?
This is where my conspiracy hat comes in. Is I still think that there's an MK Ultra issue here, because the guy ran some businesses out of the Houston area, became an adult, was pretty successful, not like super wealthy or anything, but he was doing okay. Ended up going through a divorce, owed a lot of money, and then that's when they were trying to say, that's when they stopped talking about him, and they said that's why he tried to do this. I think MK Ultra is a situation on both of these guys from New Year's Day.
Right. Okay. So again, I guess you're answering the question with, you don't think that it was another country. You think it was our own
No.
government.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I
so,
think they prey on the weak, though. So, like, they
Yeah.
go after anybody that's susceptible, and I think they'll take any damage they can get.
right, but not another country. It's
They'll
our
take
own
anything.
country.
The
I
other
hear
part to
you.
remember, Trump brags about wiping out ISIS, and then all of a sudden they're back.
You see what I'm saying here?
It's
You
weird.
see what I'm saying? That's my whole point. So in Trump, he ain't gonna play them games and let him get a whiff of, okay, yeah, they ISIS sent him. He wasn't a self-proclaimed ISIS. No. We can't run with that, because then we can't go over there and invade.
Sure.
This dude was sitting by Jafar over there for, I think that's the name that one of them would have. And now we got to go over there and we got to take him out. You see what I'm saying? Now we got to take y'all's money and your children, and we got to go put them in another war. We have to.
That's what our government wants.
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point I'm trying to get at. So then it
And your
causes
kids are
chaos
automatically
over-
registered for the draft. And
Exactly. So it causes that rift. It causes a racial rift, because now you got these white dudes and these black dudes at odds with each other because of the dang post. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. That's my whole thing, bro.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, it just it does frustrate me. It really does. Can you tell?
Yeah. Well,
It does.
you're definitely not Cash from 4 years ago. That's for sure.
Nah, I'm not.
By the way, what day was it that you turned yourself in? Was it January 11th?
I think it was the 11th or the 14th.
That's what I have in my
Something
head.
like
I was
that.
wondering if you remembered that.
Yeah, it was one of them days, something like that. I think it was the 11th.
Yeah.
maybe I'll
I'm
jump
waiting
out
for
of the
the
cake
Facebook
on that
memory.
day.
The what? Oh, your birthday cake? Yeah. We need to have Free still jump out of this birthday cake sometime. It's taking up half of his front room. Jesus.
Mhm.
Gotta get it out of his house. But we covered a lot, guys. We went way over, but it was a good conversation. We went down a lot of the stuff. Let's go
Yeah.
ahead and just go do the rounds. Free? How can they follow you? And what are you up to?
Well, I was on X until I criticized Elon a few minutes ago, so I'm assuming that I'm still on X. Creole Queen is doing an awesome job promoting my YouTube, and so that's in the comments as well. I'm up to like 60 something follows on YouTube. That's big time. So
That is dope.
and you guys are on most of my shows, so I think people know about those. We've got the 2 game shows are fun, and we're going to keep doing those. So if you haven't seen the game show, if you want to see Cash completely out of his element,
Yes.
the last game show, it was classic. So yeah, please check those out. Lots of fun. Appreciate you guys a ton. You guys are awesome. You've been great friends
know
and
my
super
bro.
helpful.
Yeah.
Me,
Dude, I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Go ahead, Cash.
I just want to say I wasn't trying to disrespect the French Quarters. I just don't know about the French Quarters. I think I do. When I used to watch the Vampire Diaries, I think they had something going on in the
geez.
French Quarter.
Of course, you would be watching Vampire Diaries.
Well, that was
I
my
get it.
show, bro. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love you went Chicago there and pluralized a word that didn't need to be pluralized.
Which
The
word?
French Quarters.
Oh, okay. Whatever. You know. You get it.
Did you shop at the Jewels when you were doing that?
You know it. See? You get it. You are from up here. That's what's up. No, but Yeah, I love all y'all. My mods especially. I know y'all say y'all Creole, and that they come from the French Quarters, I'm assuming. Okay.
You got a -1,000,000 points there. Yep, there it is. There it is.
My bad.
That's going to be a hole.
Wasn't trying to disrespect your home. That's not what my goal was at all. I'm just saying I didn't know what it was. If I don't know something, I just don't know something. It's a place where you live. I know that now. But beyond that, I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate the love. Y'all been crushing it for me. So thank you. If you guys could, if you haven't already, if you're watching on X, go to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and give me a like. Get in the comments, all the good stuff. And beyond that, that's about all I got.
French Quarters like Rush Street, Cash.
Okay.
The Viagra Triangle. Like up there.
Mm-hmm.
The what?
Viagra
I take it this
Triangle.
is an intersection in Chicago.
They call it the Viagra Triangle, like this popular area because it's all like older guys with younger ladies. The rich
Jesus.
folk.
Rich guys. Rich guys.
That's
with younger
hilarious.
Ladies. Yeah.
So Bill Belichick hangs out there. Is that what it is? Bill
That's
Belichick.
exactly it. That kind of money.
For sure.
All right. My final words, guys, is first I want to say keep California in your prayers. Southern California is not in a good place right now with a fire that is going on at the worst time possible. I do not believe that it's a coincidence that we had predicted a pretty bad wind day and then magically there's a fire that's taking out a lot of people's homes. So keep everybody in your prayers because it's not going to be good what we get out of this. Last thing is just don't trust the government, guys. I really just can't stand them at this point. And if you guys haven't got it from this show tonight, everything that comes out of their mouth is to spin some sort of narrative or direction they want it to go, to lie and manipulate people to go just to shut up and go back to work. And we can't be doing that anymore.
Agreed. JR the fourth. From now on, I'm coming to your X page every day, and I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, bro.
Where is this?
That's it. Go ahead. No, he said, Cash, Cash, we're not subscribing to your YouTube. Quit asking. LOL. So now I got to target him. I'm going to his page every day and asking him to share my YouTube.
One of the things that you will learn, you very carefully ask the internet to do things.
No, it's good. I love my X. I love my people on X, bro. They're great. Just the other ones that I don't know. Did I send you the video of that one dude, bro? The Goyim TV? I'm
pretty sure I know who this is.
My God.
I guarantee you it's someone that did shows with Suni.
Some of them are funny. Some of them are really funny, and it's racist. It's so racist, but some of them are really funny. But his stuff, bro, and then his comments, I'm like, yo, bro, they are getting ready for the Third Reich again. They getting ready. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's like the Nick Fuentes people. I don't get along with them very well. I'm not a big fan. But all right, guys. Well, great show. Thanks for hanging out extra time free. I'm glad you could jump on with us. And everybody,
happy to do it always.
Thanks, man.